This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor on Ag Am in Kansas. I'm your host, Conrad Cabus. There's a recent debate on Capitol Hill in Washington that would block the implementation of the administrator's new Clean Water Act rule, which redefines the waters of the U.S. Ryan Flickner from the Kansas Farm Bureau discusses conservation tactics already in place by farmers and ranchers in the United States.
Farmers and ranchers are the original conservationists. Our forefathers, they lived through the dirty 30s, and there's been a whole lot of private and public investment to make sure that our soils don't blow or wash away. Without having high quality and valuable soil, you can't grow anything. So our members want to make sure that they continue to protect that soil and the water that flows over the soil during periods of rain.
The rule is meant to make it clearer which waterways the Environmental Protection Agency and the Corps of Engineers can oversee under the 43-year-old Clean Water Act, which covers navigable waters such as the Mississippi River and Lake Erie.
There were roughly 30,277 stream miles that were considered a federal water or a WOTUS water in Kansas. This proposed rule it's not proposed, this final rule now, actually increases that just on the state of Kansas 500%. So we go from 30,000 stream miles to 60 days after this rule is published in the Federal Register, it will be 181,822 stream miles in Kansas alone. And talking with some different folks in Washington, D.C., and even here in our state agencies, that number, the 181,000, does not include gradient or any type of terracing in the state of Kansas. And a terrace is designed to carry water. High rainfall events, you slow that water down, it goes in the terrace channel, and then it gets drained either through a tile outlet terrace or it dumps into a grassed waterway if it's a gradient terrace. So we have millions upon millions of terracing all across the state. And if it is true that EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers is going to maintain that a bed bank and ordinary high water mark must be present, and if that's the case, then that equals a tributary, then we're going to have an awful lot of gradient terraces, tile outlet terraces, and that 181,000 number just increases dramatically.
With this new rule in place, lawsuits are likely to ensue on whether the agencies violated the Administrative Procedure Act when the rulemaking violated federal protections for small businesses, and whether the rule's expanded oversight of waterways falls outside what Congress intended when it wrote in the Clean Water Act.
No doubt about it. With as technical as this is, it's probably pretty likely that a lawsuit does get filed. I don't know where or when, but if you look back at the Clean Water Act, it's been on the books since the 1970s. There's been multiple lawsuits, including 2 lawsuits in the 2000s. That really EPA felt forced to rewrite the rule to add some clarification to what the Supreme Court ruled in those 2 cases in the 2000s.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.